there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the secrets that no one tells you about being a writer. Number 1. You gotta be social as fuck. You might think that the whole writer thing is kind of an introverted, career, but you actually have to be quite extroverted. And this is because writing a book is only half of the process. If you write a book, what are you going to do with it? Just going to sit there? You have to market it, you have to publish it, you have to do all these things, and a lot of them involve connecting with people, talking with people, things that we writers fear and abhor. Kinda gotta do the Steve Jobs and Wozniak thing. 2 in 1. So 50% of your time will be hiding indoors from people, and the other 50% will be talking to people online. Because let's face it, you're not going to talk to people in the real world. This means putting yourself out there, doing the scary things, and not being embarrassed about it. When I first started, I was like, what? This is weird. I don't want to do this. I'm good. Nah. But you need to do that shit. Otherwise, how is anyone going to know whether your writing is good? You know, what I'm doing, my blog and my vlog and social media stuff, my platform, that doesn't come easy to me. Not all the time. It was hard to start it. I was just like, who wants to read my shit? Why is this going on? But you have to be producing something. You have to be involved in your community. So, there are aspects to being a writer that, not everyone likes. Too bad. If you want to write a book, you want to become successful, you want to be a writer, you're gonna have to be social, do all the shit. And I guess that kind of leads into point 2, is that, even if you indie publish, even if you traditional publish, however way you publish your writing, you gotta market it. Without marketing, no one in the world knows your fucking book exists. I mean, like our last point, you're an introverted writer, you're not social, you sit at home under a blanket writing all day. Do people know you exist? Short answer, no. So you have to make yourself exist. This means building your platform, going out and doing scary things, talking about your writing to people, and just making people know about your book, making people know about you. Because if people know about you, they know what you're doing, and if your life is about writing like it is me, then they know what you're doing. A lot of writers going into traditional publishing for the first time, they don't realize that publishers don't really market your book. They have a few books every year that they give a shit ton of marketing and, advertisements, that kind of thing. But they're not gonna be a first-time writer publishing their first work. It's gonna be someone like Stephen King or J.K. Rowling. To be frank, they don't give a shit about you. Now, traditional publishers, they do other stuff, whatever. I'm not into it. Some people are into it. It's not the right give and take for me. Maybe later. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So regardless of which way you go to publish, you're gonna have to market the shit out of your book if you want it to become successful. A lot of people think, just write the book, push it out there into the world, and, if it's good, it'll catch on. And that's true to a certain extent, but like I said, no one knows you exist. Why would they know that your book exists? So, build your platform, get followers, get people who love your writing, and the rest will happen. The rest will fall in place. Marketing gets you a step above everyone else because so many writers do not do this. 3. You aren't always gonna like your job. You might think that because you really liked writing as a hobby, you're gonna like every single aspect of writing, and that is simply not true. No matter how much someone loves their job, there's always gonna be things that they're just like, I don't really feel like doing that today. And the problem with writers is that you're doing that shit yourself. You don't have a boss that's, cracking the whip and making you go. You're doing that all yourself. So you have to be really self-motivated. You're not gonna roll out of bed every day, jumping at your computer ready to write. Some days you will, sure, but 40 hours a week? Maybe not. If you want to be a successful writer, if you want to make a career off of your writing, you have to put in the effort every day, even if you already have a job. Especially if you already have a job. And even in some of the things that writers like and don't like, we're like picky children. One day we might love editing, and the next, we fucking hate it. That doesn't matter, cause your book needs to be edited regardless of what you like or not. You want to be a writer, you enjoy what you're doing, you gotta do it. Every day. Consistently. You don't have a book, you have nothing to sell. You have no money. You die on the streets alone. 4. You will never read books the same again. Ever. You're going to hate a lot of books, be upset about a lot of comma placements, a lot of writing choices and styles. But the good books will literally, pun intended, be life-changing. But those life-changing books are very, very few and very far in between. You're gonna be reading a lot of books, and they're just not gonna have the same kind of appeal as they once did, because you're like looking at this and you're, I can read better than this. Why did they do that? Why did they put that there? This is not a healthy relationship. Why is this in this book? What the So realize, as a writer, you're gonna read like a writer. I know that after, a day of editing and going, okay, I need to switch this around, move this here, tighten up this sentence, cut some words. I'm reading a person's book and I'm seeing all these flaws and all these things that I myself would have changed. And there is different styles and all those sorts of things. But mine's the best. And number 5 is going to throw you for a loop a little bit, because I'm just going to contradict everything that I just said and say that no advice can be followed to a T. Every writer is different, and some things that work for other writers don't work for some writers. You really are going to get a lot of contradicting advice and messages from different famous writers, aspiring writers, everywhere. You have to use your judgment and decide what works for you and what doesn't. And another thing I want to say, you should never get all your writing advice from just 1 or 2 people. Most writers, they're just kind of figuring this out themselves. There's so many different ways to make it in this game. You can take advice from people, but you kind of have to find your own path. Half of what being a writer is just figuring out what works for you. And following exactly what other people have done is a good way to lose what makes yourself you. You want your writing to be unique. You want it to have its own style. And if you try to emulate Stephen King or Ernest Hemingway, J.K. Rowling, it's gonna read like that. No one wants to read something that they want a different style. They want something new and fresh. And 6, there's literally no such thing as talent. Only hard work. Lots of hard work. To me, talent is basically what people see from the outside. They can see the top of the mountain and they can't see all of the stones and everything that came into making it. I have people sending me asks saying that, I think my writing's not good enough, what can I do? And the number one thing I would say is that talent doesn't exist. Being good enough doesn't exist. Hard work is what gets you there. There's no good enough and not good enough. You just exist and you just keep working and keep going at it. There's not really any way to measure good and good enough. You can have people that don't like your writing and you can have people that love the same exact writing. You're not gonna please all people. But that being said, your writing can improve, but literally the only way that you need to continue doing that is 3 things. Keep writing, keep reading, and getting feedback. Those are the ways that your writing improves. And that doesn't mean you're talented. It means that you've worked hard. Writing is a skill just like any other thing. So there is no such thing as good enough. There's no such thing as talent. There really truly is only hard work. And that's really all I have for you guys this week. These are a lot of things that you don't hear a lot in the writing community. Some of them you do, but all of them are really important to know, I feel, as a writer. And thank you guys for watching Clover Rain and the Black Dragon. You can read the first chapter at KiraMartinAuthor.com. I'm going to be recruiting some beta readers soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, so see you guys next week. Bye. Yeah, great.